Started. We are doing The Let Them by Mel Robbins, and we are on chapter 5. Let them think bad thoughts about you. This is such a powerful concept because people pleasing is a part of so many people's addictions, really. It's what's controlling everything they want, it's what's controlling what they get up and do every day, it's what's controlling why we decide to do what we do or why we decide to not do what we want to do because we are worried about what people will think. I love the way Mel talks about this in here. She says, poet Mary Oliver asked this question in her poem, The Summer Day. Tell me what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. I don't know what your answer to Mary Oliver's question is, but I do know whatever it is that you plan to do, other people are going to have an opinion about it. And isn't that the truth? Can I get an amen? In the next few chapters, you'll learn, how to use the let them theory to stop allowing other people's opinions to hold you back from pursuing what you want and limiting the potential of your one wild and precious life. You have no idea how big of a problem that this is. Neither did I. It's easy to put on a facade that you don't care what other people think. But the reality is, we all do. The truth is, people will have negative opinions about you, and there is absolutely nothing you can do to change this fact. When you allow your fear of what other people think to stop you from doing what you want to do, you become a prisoner to other people's opinions. And I think this shows up. I've been inviting to a Glow with Me event tomorrow that I'm hosting a brunch in Decatur, and with I'm co-hosting with Mala. And I had all the people that I know, that when I looked in what's happening in Decatur, and it brought up like 200 people that I'm friends with, that there's some of those I know and some that I'm just friends with on Facebook. So I invited all the ones that I know, but then the ones that I'm just friends with on Facebook, I've been having to decide, what am I going to do with them? Am I going to invite them? Am I going to like and heart and comment a while? What should I do? And there was one lady on there that I know, but I haven't talked to her a lot. There's been gaps. Sometimes I'll talk to her and follow her and comment and heart. And then, when nothing really happens, I'll ask her to get together and she tells me no. Or I'll ask her to buy and she'll tell me no. Or I'll invite her to something again and she'll tell me no. So there'll be a gap where I put her, like in our business, we call put them on ice for a while. And then, so she had been on ice for a while, and I see her name and I'm like, huh, okay, let me connect with her again and see how she's doing. So now she's been a yoga instructor. Her son is brilliant in music. He went to Juilliard in New York. He's so brilliant. And now he's gone on to college. And she was a homeschool mom. And I met her as a vendor selling Plexus in the fall at an event that has everybody dresses up like DC and Marvel characters.
Gonna
And
go.
I've done it for years. It's such a fun event. And I met her there, and her husband dresses up. And her son has gotten old enough, he dresses up. What's the green Flash and the green guy?
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern, thank you. That's how I met her. I didn't meet her through homeschooling. I didn't meet her because she lived in Athens. I didn't meet her because she teaches yoga. I met her because we had two booths next to each other, and they make jewelry. And I bought some of their jewelry. It's really pretty. Um, and her husband is an artist. He'll drawings of Athens and then turn them into like postcards. or cards you can give someone. And that's always really neat, isn't it, to get a card that has a picture of your hometown on it.
Yeah, those are
So,
cool. We have
yeah, I
somebody that does
love
that
that.
around here.
It has facts on it about
Mhm.
Athens. So, anyway, so I decided to connect with her. And then I did go ahead and ask her after I connected a little bit and we had talked. I asked her to come to Saturday. And so she sent me a message back. At first she didn't. And then I was like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? So I followed up with her because she ghosted me at first. And she answered me today and she said, thank you for reaching out. We just got back from Florida and I've had to work some long days at Calhoun from morning till late because of Trash Panda game. Trash Panda is our local city baseball team.
Mm,
And I'm
okay.
launching some new classes
Mouse
next
Panda.
week. I'm spending the weekend. Do what?
Sorry, I was just laughing at that Trash Panda.
I
Is the
know
name
it's
of
the
the.
craziest name, but
Uh,
hey, it is what it is,
that's
and the
what they call
stadium's really
raccoons.
nice.
Do you know that?
What?
That's what they call raccoons.
Yeah, it's a raccoon. Raccoon is what the mascot
Yeah,
that comes
okay.
out on the field.
Okay. Sorry.
So I think it's kind of a blue gray color. But anyway, she said, I'm launching some new classes next week. I'm spending the weekend putting the final touches on those classes, so I'll be busy with that and church. I'm like, it's a brunch. Are you going to eat breakfast? And then she goes, I recently started using grass-fed beef tallow, and I've really liked how that has helped my skin because I told her it was a glow with me. I appreciate you thinking of me, and I wish I wasn't so busy. Oh, we are also moving Caleb to his own place, so life is crazy right now. So anyway, I just talked back and forth with her some more, and I'm probably gonna say, well, if you got to eat breakfast anyway, come for a little bit. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's overthinking it as well, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but the point is, I overcame that brain that's like, what is she gonna think? You know, because she is
Yep.
an influencer. I mean, in the sense, not like on Instagram, but
Yeah, but
in our
she's
town, a lot of people
yeah.
know her, like her, and
Hmm.
respect her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
She's
Yeah,
a
I
really
understand what
sweet
you're saying.
lady. So, you know, we just have to figure out a way to overcome that brain. And I like that what Mel is going to talk about in here. She's going to talk about how much energy
Hmm.
we spend worrying about what the other person is going to think, say,
Yeah.
do. And
Yeah.
instead of just go ahead and invite her, just,
Hmm.
of course, it's going to take a little energy to connect. We do want to connect. But
Yeah.
instead of spending energy, am I going to message her? Am I not? What will
Yeah.
she say? Will she not hate me? Will she think I'm weird? Will she, like, don't, as soon as your brain starts to go to that, my brain
Th-
does it too.
Yeah.
As soon as you can catch your brain doing that, just say, I'm going to invite her and we'll just see what happens.
See what happens. That's what I tell myself. Let's just see what happens. If she says something weird, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But you're stopping yourself from even knowing if she's gonna say something weird. So let's just stop it. Who is it saying that? Probably ego. Thank you so much for trying to keep me safe, but this is not a safe thing you need to keep me from right now. And yeah, if they say it, okay,
Right?
you know.
Exactly. And, like her message wasn't anything mean. She wasn't
Yeah,
mean.
it was just
She,
matter of fact, like this is what I'm doing, la
mhm.
da da. Okay. But if you were in that, she's gonna say something mean mindset, you could have taken that as a tone, right? Like she had a tone with it that she really didn't actually have.
Well, and if I anticipated she was going to be mean, I wouldn't have even followed up and said, hey, what are your
Exactly.
thoughts on this? Because she didn't answer me right away. So
Right.
I could have just let her ghost me, but
Yep.
because
But
I got past that mindset of like fear of what is she going to
yeah,
say? What is she going to do? Then I asked again
exactly.
so that she was prompted, like, hey, Darlene really does want to hear from me. She really does
Right.
want me to come. Or she may not have had time to listen to my voice message right when she
Exactly.
saw it and she listened because I asked again. I asked late at
Hmm.
night last night because I was thinking, hey, it's late at night. She should be home, not out at work or the store or something, so she can hear my voice message if that was the issue before.
Yeah, exactly. I do that.
So,
I'll be like, oh shoot, Darlene sent me this voice message. I don't want to listen to it right now because I can't hear it.
mm-hmm.
And then I'll go back and it'll be like hours later.
So it's good to follow up at night when it is late. Follow up is a good thing to do when it's late
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
man, I want to work my business. What should I do? Follow up because people can, if you say, hey, what do you think?
Hmm.
To your messages you left earlier, people can get a chance to listen to them then. But that kind of mindset is opposite or overcoming the whole fear mindset of are they
Mm-hmm.
going to think something bad about you? That's what we're talking about. Are they
Hmm.
going to think something bad about you? Well, some people are. I mean, some people are. She was
Yeah.
not, but some people aren't going to be nice. Like the post I made
Hmm.
yesterday was, you know what? I was like, you know what? Either nobody's going to comment, but I think a lot of people will comment. And I asked, how often should you call your kids or should you call
I like that.
and
That
let
was,
them
I'm
call
like, you
you?
know what? This is a little bony brill post for my friend here that people don't know maybe what she's going on through, but this is actually kind of vulnerable for her.
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
like, oh, yay, look at you. I was
And I've
proud of
been
you for her.
commenting back with some of my real thoughts, not just little short,
Just,
oh, that's
yeah,
nice for you. Thank you for sharing. Like, no, I've been saying, well,
and real grit.
this is what
Yeah.
I think about that. And that also opens us up for what?
Hmm.
Some
For
people
more
might
time.
think bad
Yeah.
about me.
Yeah.
Even my own kids may think bad about me. One of my kids may see that what I said and be
Hmm.
infuriated and
Hmm.
not talk to me for
Absolutely.
6 months. Well, let them, let
Let
them,
them.
because they have to process their own shiz.
Yep. They got to do their own stuff just like we
They have
do.
to process their own thoughts. Instead of overthinking every move you make, what if you just let them think whatever the heck they want to think? It's life changing to free yourself of this burden. Remember the fundamental law of human nature. You can't control what another adult says, does, or thinks. And I think that is one of the hardest things about raising kids to going from being kids to being adults because when kids are at home and they're little, we can take something away or we can even give them a spanking if you believe in that. We can
Hmm.
discipline them. There can be consequences, but when our kids are adults, if they don't like something you do, they can just decide, well, I hate my mom. She's a psycho or a narcissist, even if she's not. I can, I'm not speaking to her for 6 months, or I'm not going to Thanksgiving, or we're not doing Christmas together. Well,
Right.
you're not going to be controlled by your kids when they're adults. You have to let them.
Mm.
And I've been learning that lesson this year the hard way.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
But I'm not going to trade my dreams and my life purpose and the love I have for hundreds of women. I have my inner
Mm.
circle. Jessica's in my inner circle. I'm not trading that for bratty adult kids. I'm sorry that they're being a brat. I hope they outgrow it. God help
Yeah.
them. I've taught them
Yeah.
right. but it's in their court. That ball is in their.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit on the angry, sassy side today. So that's where I'm
Getting
coming.
sassy, darling, today. We're
It's the
getting our sass
sassy
out.
one.
I think Mel is bringing our sass out.
I woke up this way. I'm a little sore
I,
from like 3 workouts yesterday.
man, I did
Maybe I got
some
a lot
different
of
workouts
testosterone in
and
me today.
I feel the same way. I've been doing extra workouts and then this book and just just Mel is more, she's more sassy than we are on a normal basis and I think it's good. I don't care. I did something that was out of range for me and
What'd you do?
that one post where you're like, it's a little bit sassy and I'm like, yeah, it is. And then but then it gave me a chance to reflect of like, but who am I being sassy to? I was actually talking to myself more than other people because I know how it is. I was there. I was eating chocolate packets, like not making drinks, eating it.
Mm,
Like so I know. So it's coming from a place of like love is where that comes from. But
exactly.
it
Yeah,
still needs to
I
be
don't want people to be mean. I'm
no,
not. I want them to be loving, but I'm not in control of that. Um,
exactly.
yeah. So what am I in control of? I'm in control of let them and let me. So I
Exactly.
have to let them. I have to let go, and Mel is going to go on and talk about that in here as well.
I'm
Um,
muting because Aiden's getting off the bus, but I'm
okay.
still here.
Okay. She's going to talk about, how I love what she says here. Um, it's it's the afraid to change mindset. So Mel wanted to become a speaker. She wanted to be a speaker and she wanted to get hired as a speaker, not just come speak for free. Well, it takes a while to get hired to become a speaker. A lot of times you do have to be willing to go speak for free before, people will hire you to speak. And so she asked a mentor what she should do, and the advice they said was build a simple website with photos of you on a stage, plus a description of your keynote and the main takeaways. Get testimonials from a few event planners at past events you have spoken at and put them on the website. And then, most important, start posting about speaking online. Turn your social media into your marketing. Post photos from events, post content related to your speech, post photos with the event planners that hire you. Social media is how people find you. Social media demonstrates that you are a player in this industry, and social media is what will lead people to that one page website so they can book you. That's the formula. Follow it and you will start getting paid. So she heard that advice. She's armed with this advice. Does she follow through and do it? Nope. She says she did create a website. She did ask for testimonials and put them on the website. But did she post on social media? No. At the time, her social media was personal. It was filled with photos of her kids, pictures from family trips, and selfies with friends. All of her followers were friends, former classmates, and family members. She had never posted anything about her desire to become a motivational speaker or the fact that she had already been doing it for free for over a year. And if you ever wanted to use social media to launch a business or promote some new aspect of your life or share your art, you know how hard it is to look at your account that has only photos of your personal life and make the decision that you're going to turn this into a marketing channel. She fiddle faddled around for 2 years before she started doing it. Why? She
Sounds like me.
why? Because she was afraid of who?
Other people.
Other people. Her friends.
Crazy, crazy that we're just scared of that.
We're
But yeah,
scared of our
the
mom,
same
our
goes
aunt,
for me.
our dad, our friends from school that we friended on Facebook. Most people only have like maybe 200 friends on Facebook if they're just keeping it to family and friends and people they've done life with. And that's how her Facebook was. So she worried if she stopped posting photos of her kids and pictures from barbecues and get togethers with extended family and started posting photos of her speaking at conferences, that people would judge her. So, who does she think she is? Who the heck is hiring her to speak? What does she possibly have to say? What a phony. So she tried to post. She'd thumb through her photos from an event, select one or two, then fear would kick in. And as she drafted a caption, she would start to feel worried about what other people's negative opinions are. And does this sound too arrogant? Is this caption professional enough? If I post this, will people unfollow me? Will my friends think I'm full of myself? Should I start a separate account from scratch? And I even had my aunt unfollow, like block me and my mom. This is years ago when I first started. She was like, "Yeah, you should have a business page. You should have a business page. You shouldn't be putting this on your personal page." And she just blocked us, and I was like, "Let her." I hadn't even read this book yet, and I told my mom, I was like, wow, if she's going to be that petty and not support you in what you're doing and be so critical, you do not need her following you. Let her block you. Thank you for blocking me. Thank you. So, I would then convince myself it wasn't worth it to post. So she said, this stupid fear kept me from marketing my business, something I wanted to make my full time career for years. I gave other people's opinions more weight and importance than my own ability to get ahead in life. Talk about giving your power away. And I'm sure she had to also think, I'm wanting to be a motivational speaker. I've already been speaking on stage about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm not even 5, 4, 3, 2, 1ing making this post. Like I'm sure felt like a hypocrite and like so depleted and defeated um, as this was happening to her. For how long? Just 1 week or 1 month? No,
Years. 2
2 years.
years.
And she kept speaking, she kept going on stage, she kept doing the things, but she didn't post. She had to work through it. And sometimes, as we're getting to let them, we're working through something. It is not an overnight process. And we have to keep fighting and changing and growing and showing up and coming to the book club call and coming to the IPA power hour and coming to the 10 10 10 call and going to the vendor booth and bringing our stuff with us. And as we keep doing the things and showing up to coaching, and showing up to Tony Robbins' free event and Dean Gracioso's free event, and the people who are doing what we want to do, we get in the space where we learn how to overcome our brain and how to overcome ego. And one day we just decide, you know what? Let them. Let them. I'm doing what I want to do. They're stealing my dream. My bank account is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's one thing that Mel realized as well. They had like $800,000 in debt. Okay, so that's probably more than most people have because she is running a business. And she was like, I have to stop letting these other people, invisible people that I'm imagining, I don't even know if they're going to be this mean as I'm imagining. I have to stop letting this control me. She says the average human being has 70,000 thoughts a day, most of which are random and cannot be controlled. A neurologist, though, will tell you that of that 70,000, you really have about 5 or 6 thoughts that are on repeat. They're just repeating over and over and over. A lot of it is subconscious. You're not aware, like you may genuinely say, I don't care what they think. I don't care what people think about me because consciously that's what you're thinking, but subconsciously the thought is different. It's the memory of the kid laughing at you in second grade because you had on weird shoes, he said. Like, your shoes were your shoes. Who cares? But he said, oh, your shoes are weird. And so then you were like, I shouldn't have worn these shoes. You didn't know about let them back then. So these subconscious thoughts will be in your mind, and you don't even know that's what your brain is playing down there because it's subconscious. And so then when you read the book Let Them, your conscious pulls up that second grade memory of what happened and when they laughed at you and they wouldn't play with you because they said you had weird shoes, and you changed your shoes and wore different shoes, and they still wouldn't play with you the next day because it really wasn't about the shoes, it was just about them being mean, and probably because they were going through something. People aren't just mean on their own most of the time, they're going through something too. But still, we have these thoughts going on, and it's like, okay, so what do I do? You can't even control half the thoughts that pop in your own mind. Why the heck do you think you can control what pops in someone else's mind? You can't. It's scientifically impossible. That's why the let them theory is so revolutionary. Instead of fearing other people's opinions, you are just going to allow them to think what they want. In fact, I recommend that you assume people will think negative thoughts about you because people do have negative thoughts about you. This is normal. And by the way, people who love you think bad thoughts about you every day. I have bad thoughts about the people I love every day. This is normal. To prove it, I'll go first. My husband wakes up. He usually lets out a huge fart. My first thought is, "You're disgusting." I love Chris more than any human being on the planet, but I have bad thoughts and negative opinions about him all the time. Same thing with my dog. At 5 p.m., my dog, Homie, is so annoying because he knows it's dinner time. He follows me around, he pants like crazy, he jumps on me. And you know what I think? He's a giant pain in the rear and he needs to chill, but I still love him. My oldest daughter, Sawyer, who I wrote this book with, is a complete control freak. And when things aren't just right, she gets overbearing and too intense. She goes into OCD, cleaning spiral that just stresses everyone out. I still love her. Every time our middle daughter, Kendall, FaceTimes me from Los Angeles, it feels like she's wearing a new outfit. I think she is irresponsible with her money, and the last thing she needs is more clothes. But I still love her. Our son Oakley is literally perfect, just kidding. For the first hour he's awake, he refuses to make eye contact and speak to people. I think he is rude. Joe's the same way, but I still love him. By the way, I asked my children to describe some adjectives they think about me. They said messy, disorganized, loud, over friendly. Right? It's going to either be not friendly enough or over friendly, all over the place, controlling, always late, know it all. And they have a lot of opinions about how I share online about our life, and yet they still love me. Sawyer also wanted you to know that writing this book with me nearly drove her to sever parental rights because of the number of times I completely threw out the manuscript. For context, this version is 11.0. Why am I telling you this? So let's add perfectionist to the list, because everybody has critical opinions about people they love as well as total strangers. It is a fact of life. I mean, haven't you met someone that's like talking to you, making eye contact, and then you glance away for a second? When your eyes come back, they're looking you up and down. You know, they're judging your outfit and your hair and your nails and your shoes and who knows what else. Why am I telling you this? Because everybody has critical opinions. Embrace it and accept it. Instead of trying to change reality, start using it to your advantage. Let them. So here's another truth. Just because someone has a negative opinion doesn't mean they feel negatively about you as a whole. Star, 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 right? I can think a bad thought about my husband and still love him and treat him with so much respect and kindness, because two things can be true at once. You can be annoyed by the way someone is acting and still love them to death. I think that is worth, like, I'm putting my highlighter around
Yeah,
it.
I said that the other day because that something, those snippets come up and it'll be her talking like on her podcast or whatever. And it was this right here. Two
Mm-hmm.
things can be true at the same time. We can live in a world where two truths exist, and that is perfectly fine.
Yes.
We don't have to make one truer than the other. They're both equally true and equally fine. and we don't have to, you know, make any exceptions for either one. It's fine.
Yeah. So, this is how you feel about the people you love. You think their friends are bad influences. You think they're overreacting. You think their boyfriend treats them poorly. You think their business idea is going to fail. You think they are self centered, but you still love them. My point is simple: adults will have negative opinions about you and everything you do. Let them judge, let them react, let them doubt you, let them question the decisions you are making, let them be wrong about you, let them roll their eyes when you start posting videos online or you want to rewrite the manuscript for the 12th time. Instead of wasting your time worrying about them, start living your life in a way that makes you proud of yourself. Let me do what I want to do with my one wild and precious life. Underline, underline, underline. So, yeah, we've got to focus on let me do what I want to do because God has a mission on our life. God has a mission on my life. And I have let people's, even not showing up to things like, me relaunching Harmony Health and Wellness. It was Harmony Health and Fitness, but it's Harmony Health and Wellness because I'm certified in nutrition now. And I've expanded. And I could sit here and worry because our brain, all ego knows is what happened in the past. And so it's going to try to replay what happened in the past to keep you safe and make you make the decision it wants you to make. But it's my job. I'm made in God's image. So I have the ability to imagine my future and what I'm creating. Animals don't do this, they run off instinct. But God made us in His image. So I have the ability to imagine the future. I don't have to just think about the past. And I know what I'm creating. And I can say, well, this is 2025. That was 2020. That things were a lot different in 2020, 2021 than they are now in 2025. And I know people need what I have. Like God has been confirming, oh my goodness, what you have is worth $7,200. You haven't been charging enough for what you do. That's really what's been going on. And so that's when we think about people who've succeeded at things like inventing the light bulb. They tried a lot of times. They didn't just try a few times. They didn't even just try a few hundred times. They tried thousands of times. And so keep going. Let them and then let me. What do you have to say about this, Jessica? I'm going to let my dog out while you comment.
Okay. Um, this was just a real eye opener for me because that's what I do too, is like, let myself be stopped by thinking about what other people are gonna say and worry about how they feel about it. But really, why? Why am I caring so much? I started thinking about, why do I care so much about what they think? Why am I stopping myself? What is the point of me stopping what I want to do? How is that helping them? I just like all these questions started coming up to me about, how can, yeah, sure, they're going to feel that way, but I can't control how they feel. I can only control how I feel. So if I control how I feel, then in my world, it can soften their negativity. Because I have a lot of people that like to tell me, about what I do, and oh, well, you still eat this and you still do this and blah, 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 blah. But that's their attitude about me. I can't change that. So what I can change though is, okay, they're seeing that in me. How can I change that for myself? Not for them, but if they're pointing something out, like, how can I change that for me? Not because I want to change it for them, but there must be something there that needs to still be addressed. it's not for them that I'm addressing it. It's for me. Like, why is this still out there? And then go forward with the how can I change it? Not for them, for me. Because if you always change things for other people, it's never gonna stick anyways. So you gotta start realizing,
You could be
this
changing it
people
every 5 minutes.
every 5 minutes. And I did that at one point, and I was going literally crazy
Hmm.
because one person would say this, oh, well, this, no, me. Me says this, and you guys are going to go with this. And if you don't want to go with that, then that's fine. You go over there. But while we're here, this is what we're doing. And I've just put that boundary down, and the people that don't want to follow that, they're just like, okay, well, I don't want to be positive like that. And it's not even that I'm forcing people to be positive or anything. It's just my energy doesn't even allow them to even come close to me anymore because I'm just kind of like, nope, eh, nope, we're not going to accept that. It doesn't mean that it's not true because that thing where we learned in the first where she's like, but it's true, but we don't have to focus on it. Truth doesn't mean we have to just keep like, oh yeah, the world's in shambles right now. Okay, but my immediate world is not.
Hmm.
We're actually doing pretty good considering. So
Yeah.
let's focus on that.
And on that note, like there's even if there's poor people, there's always poor, there's always struggling, there's always
Always.
some catastrophe somewhere, a war or an invasion or a natural disaster. Not 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 having compassion for that, but
Right.
that doesn't give me a license to take my focus off what my mission is and what I'm supposed to be doing. And so there's also people doing just fine, making money, have money to spend, have connections they want to make that are looking for supplements, looking for exercise classes, looking for friendship, looking for opportunities to travel, create more income. There's also that. And so we can either focus over, like, let this over here seal all of our energy and belief and excitement and say, oh, well, I'm going to wait till this settles down. And this over here never settles down. The incidents do, but then there's a new incident. There's a new, oh, well, somebody was kidnapped or somebody shot someone or somebody, there was a different earthquake or a tornado or, and again, not that we're not having compassion, it's we have to rein in our focus so that we can complete our mission that God has on our life. And Mel addresses, well, I don't want people to think negative thoughts about me. No, I don't. It hurts. Neither did she, but the fear of what other people may think is a major source of self doubt. That's one of the reasons that we're not going to focus on the negative opinions and judgments and reactions that some people are going to have because every person is not going to have that same thought as that one over there. I'm not good enough. For whom? I'm not smart enough. For whom? They are going to be mad at me. Who's going to be mad at me? My parents won't approve. So, if this, if I do this, no one's going to like me. Who is no one? What will my friends think? Whatever they want. Does this make me look bad? To whom? I like, she's not only making green light stories, she's asking green light questions. And I think that is really another powerful way to deal with our red light stories or our red light thoughts is ask a green light question. So I think this is worth putting even a post-it flag, green light questions. Because we all need some green. I'm going to use a green flag right here on this page for green light questions. I'm not good enough for whom? I'm not smart enough for whom? So these are worth repeating to yourself when you're stuck. Turn to this page and say, okay, 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 let's go. I'm going to let them. Every one of these common fears is all tied to other people. That's why I'm repeating this fact over and over again. Adults will have negative opinions about you and your outfit and what you just said and what you did last week and what you want to do. It's just like if you are going to be a speaker on stage or you are going to do events or you are going to sell supplements, whatever you're doing that's moving your life forward in that moment, some people are going to be proud of you and some people are going to be in awe of you. One lady yesterday at Tops we stopped me and said, "You have so much confidence. I'm just amazed at what you're doing on your Facebook. I love following you." But if I want to, I could stop and say, "Well, for her comment, there's going to be somebody with a negative thought because there's also going to be people who are jealous. There's also going to be people that are comparing themselves with you. And because they make up in their mind they're not living up to what you're doing, maybe they are letting fear control them still. They're like, they're going to be negative. Instead of getting off their butt and living into their dreams, they're just going to be mean and say something mean or think something mean. A lot of people aren't even going to tell you, though, what they're thinking. It's just you imagining the one. Did you want to say something, Jessica?
Or like that one, like you said, with the shoes, like that one person, you make that person everyone. You
Yeah,
turn that one person that said that comment, and then that face goes on to every single person, and you make them into that person. And then I started thinking about that as like, well, that's not really fair to that person, is it? For me to put on some kind of thing onto them that may or may not be actually how they feel. Like,
right.
that's kind of backwards for me to do that. So then that started me thinking about, well, where am I in control? Where do I start this process? How can I just stop the process before it gets too far to where I'm like, oh, I can't say anything or something? Like, what is getting me to that point? So that's part of what I've been thinking about. It's not fair for me to think Darlene's going to be mad at me if I tell her something
Right.
that is bothering me,
Mm-hmm.
knowing how much you care about me and whatever. Like, that's not
Imagine the
right for
best.
me.
Imagine the best instead of
Yeah.
imagining the worst.
Like we were talking on our call like the other day, given that aura, like think Mala was saying about it, she started thinking positive, like, no, they're going to answer me. They're going to be happy that I called them. That I think that's how this chapter kind of is talking about that. Like, give it a positive connotation first. And then if something negative happens, we'll deal with it. But let's not give it a negative connotation, waiting for something negative to happen. So then when it does, it's a you know, self-proclaiming prophecy or whatever that thing is. And it's just that cycle. No, give yourself the positive self-proclaiming prophecy or whatever. And then if it doesn't happen, be like, okay, well, I didn't really do anything necessarily that would cause that bad reaction. It just happened. Like,
Mhm.
that's just how it is.
Yeah, and we're learning like the thought of the light bulb being discovered. Like every time he did it wrong, he was closer to doing it right. And it's not that because it didn't work out, he should have stopped. It's, well, this was one more time. And I'm going to go back to some more of the people that I know in Decatur and invite them to come to our thing. It's going to be last minute. I'm also going to go back to the people who ghosted me and invite them again because some of them may have just been busy and not had a chance to answer me yet. I'm going to go back to my yeses and I'm going to remind them because I'm excited and I'm not just going to assume they remember and are as excited as I am, but I'm going to remind them. So, a big part of this is just continuing to communicate. And I think it's why our 20 minutes in the morning is so important. And yeah, if you miss it in the morning, do it in the afternoon. But trying to get up in the morning, first thing, and envisioning the day and how you want it to go, and calling in joy, calling in peace, calling in elation, and feeling those emotions. And even if it doesn't go exactly that way, when it doesn't go that way, because you called that emotion in, you're going to be able to steer through the challenges towards creating that emotion, towards what will still create peace and what will still create joy. Thoughts on that, Jessica?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. Just you got to start out with the thought, with the with the good thought instead of um just thinking the bad thing first. Like think something good is going to happen instead of just always it's going to
Yeah.
be shit or crap. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Don't assume the worst. So here's another truth. You are so much stronger than anyone's opinions about you. Stop giving your power to other people and step into your potential. Let me live my life in a way that makes me proud. Let me make decisions that align with my values. Let me take risks because I want to. Let me follow the path my soul is turning me toward. Doing what makes you happy, being brave, taking risk, and following your own path will always be more important than other people's opinions about it. This is your life. Stop letting other people's opinions ruin it. And so the more you use the let them theory, the more you'll realize that underneath this fear, your soul has been nudging you all along in the direction that is meant for you. Every time you say let them, you clear all the noise and distraction on the surface and create space for something deeper. Your voice, your intuition, your truth, and your unique path in life. Woo! I love that. That's so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always been there. It's just been buried beneath all this fear. As you use the let them theory to free yourself of the burden of other people's opinions, you'll begin moving through life with your values, your needs, and your goals as your roadmap. Excuse me, instead of anticipating what other people might think, you'll navigate your life in a way that makes you proud of yourself. And that right there is the secret. When you are proud of yourself, you hold all the power. So that, this is why, even if nobody shows up to our party that we're having tomorrow morning, our brunch, my feeling isn't based on how many come. My feeling is based on how well I invited. If I invited well and I did the work and I showed up and I brought my stuff and I brought my prizes and my gifts, then I'm going to keep finding ways to turn this into a success. When I did my wellness event in March in Athens, I took people their gifts. Thank you, hon. I took some people who didn't come. I took them. I had brought presents for them. I went to their house and took them a gift. And I still talk to them because I'm like, no, I brought you a gift. I want you to have it. And so that's just such a different attitude than the mindset of like, well, way back here before even starting to invite to the party, I could have envisioned somebody might not come or nobody might come. So I'm not going to invite. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to make any gift bags. I'm just going to sit here on the couch. And look at all that wouldn't have been created and all the connection that would have been lost and the lives changed. Even just one thing that I understand after this really hard year I've had with my girls, my daughters, is what if that one person who did come, I did have someone come and they did order, what if that connection saved her life? What if she was going to commit suicide that night because she thought nobody loved her? If I hadn't invited her and put a different something in her pathway to know she's wanted, like our book Wanted or Worthy, You are wanted. And part of our mission is not just supplements. It's not just building a team. It's not just going icon. It's not just earning the cruise to Cancun, or it's not a cruise, the free trip to Cancun. It's letting people know you are wanted. You matter. You are significant. I love you. I want to be your friend. I want to be in relationship with you. And if nothing else is created but that, that matters. Any comments on that?
I think it's not getting so wrapped up in what the outcome will be too. Like if you tell yourself like 10 people are gonna come to this and blah 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 blah, then you get this like idea about how it's supposed to be, and then if it doesn't turn out that way, then you get all mad and you're like, well, why should I even do this? Because it didn't make enough money or this, that, or other. But when you don't put any expectations on it, just think it's gonna go good no matter what. Whatever happens, that's the way it was supposed to happen. Then you have a good time no matter what. Like even if something bad does happen or unexpected, then you know that you can turn it around and make it something fun, or it just boils down to not worrying about it so much. Like stop being so concerned about how it's going to turn out. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Like I found myself this morning reminded of the boutonniere situation because Owen had his new shoes on and he wanted to walk right through the grass, wet grass clippings. And I started to say, oh, and I caught myself. I'm like, oh, whatever. He's get grass all over your shoes. Whatever. Like, it's just like just stopping and realizing, is it really gonna matter in the long run if I say something about this, or can we just like not have a critical moment and just let it be a moment?
Mm-hmm. Right. So you saved your energy. You didn't have this moment with him before he gets on the bus for school. You kept the peace. And in the end, his shoes are going to dry and that grass is going to fall off and nobody's going to know the difference. It's going to be okay. So, being proud of yourself, you created a moment to be proud of yourself and you held your power. And so that's what we're being encouraged here to do is make decisions that make you proud. The point here is not to move through life as a selfish or narcissistic person who doesn't care about other people. The point is learning how to put your needs first as you balance what works for you with the expectations and feelings of other people. In life, you don't want to be a doormat, but you also don't want to be an inconsiderate bulldozer. It's balance. And then she wraps up this chapter with a story that I think is so, so good. It's about this crazy weekend where there was going to be a milestone birthday. And it was going to be one of those really fun weekends where her friend was getting people together to celebrate. And she wanted to be there for her friend. But it was also the same weekend that she promised her parents months ago she would come home that same weekend because her grandparents were visiting. And she wanted to do both. She wanted to do both. She wanted to be with a good friend and she wanted to see her grandma, you know? So, what she ended up doing is she went to the friend's house, celebrated with the friend, celebrated really, really heartily, spent the night, got up early, put on sweatpants, drove 4 hours. She drove 4 hours home from this party to see her grandma. And when she got there to see her grandma just gave her a big hug and she was so happy to see her. And so she said that the friend, because she left early and what didn't stay, was kind of mad, and she was like, she finds out later that the friend was like, why did she even come if she's just going to leave early? So she had to say, let her, just let her, because her mom whispered in her ear, your grandmother, um, well, and even with the grandmother, she wasn't there right when she got there. And she said your grandmother was her mom whispered in her grandmother was disappointed she wasn't here. You weren't here when she got here. So she's trying to do both, and she can't perfectly please either one. So in the end, it's really about you can't worry about making everyone else happy. You have to make yourself happy. You have to do the best that you can and know, well, I feel good because I celebrated with my friend, and if she doesn't appreciate all that I did to still come and celebrate her, that's on her. Let her. And I still came to see my grandma and my grandparents, and if I wasn't right here right when she got here and I get brownie points off for that, then let her. And she says, if you don't focus on what you did right and you focus on pleasing them perfectly, you're going you're going to end up depleted and feeling like nothing was good enough. She says, now that I know the let them theory, I bend over backward to make myself happy. Let me explain. The reason to make a Herculean effort or to show up both at your friend's birthday party and to see your grandparents is that it makes you proud of yourself. Don't go to the friend's birthday so they think you are a good friend. Go to your friend's birthday because it makes you feel like you were a good friend. Don't go home to see your grandparents because it makes your mother happy. Go home to see your grandparents because it makes you happy to prioritize your grandparents and your family. When you operate in a way that makes you proud of yourself, it doesn't matter what other people think. They're going to be mad that it's always going to be disappointed by the decisions that you make. Don't ever let it be you that's disappointed, and don't let guilt drive your decisions. So I think this is the key back to what you were saying, Jessica, about you could just be changing it every 5 minutes. If you know what your goal is and what is important to you, then that just solves it, right? Then you know, okay, I need to do this, I don't need to do that, this is how long I'm going to stay. Like, I know people who get upset if you're the first to leave their party, like, even if it's not an overnight party. Um, Maybe you're the kind of person that tends to be the last to get there to the party. Um, Maybe you're even a little late. I think sometimes because I a lot of times when an event happens, somebody died, somebody's having a baby, I'm the one giving them the gift 2 weeks after the baby shower. And I've realized I feel like a part of my purpose is that when nobody's celebrating anymore, I'm still celebrating you. I don't feel like I'm late anymore. I feel like I'm the person who's still remembering you weeks after your surgery when everybody quit bringing food and everybody quit sending you cards. I'm the one who calls and says, how are you doing? Has that foot you healed up all the way? Are you able to walk now better? Like everybody else already did real quick. They went, here's your food, here's your card, here's your, because they want to be appropriate or whatever. And it's such a big southern thing and it drives me crazy. But I'm not worried about being appropriate. I want to really care about the person. And so, because life is lifing over here, then I do tend to be the one who brings the sends the card, makes the call, sends the text, sends the gift card or the gift basket or whatever later. And that's God working in that person's life through me, w- with me, with who I am. And I accept myself. I think that we have to come to accept ourselves instead of fighting who God made me to be. Stop it. Just let them, if people are complaining, let this brain, let those, okay, fine, whatever, let it. and then accept yourself. But in your conscious mind, your higher thinking, you're like, but I still love me. I still love me. Like Mel was saying, but I still love my husband even though he farts every morning real big. Well, same thing. I'm late. I still love me. I'm still a really good person. Oh, that's just, and once people get to know you, they're like, oh, it's 11:03. She's still coming. She always shows up, but it usually is 11:03. It's because she's got a lot of things she's doing and she's working her butt off and she's doing the best she can. And I still love her just like she is. And if they don't, they go. They go and it's okay. I'm still showing up as my 11:03 self. I still love me. Any comments on this? I think this was such a great chapter.
Yeah, this was a really good chapter. I identified with it quite a bit.
Hmm.
Just, I don't know, just you're the one that has to be with yourself the most, no matter what. So worry about yourself first, and then the other people will be happy because you're happy.
Yes, amen. Amen. And you see that you can feel that in people when if they it's almost like if they need you to approve them and what they're doing so they'll love themselves, you feel it. Like I feel sorry
I feel it
for
now
people
for
like
people.
that, and it is unattractive. And a lot of
Mm,
times it's just because they haven't done enough personal growth to realize that's who they are yet. So then I don't stay and I feel sorry for you. I move to compassion, and that moves me to love them where they're at and pray for them or see if I can help them. But a lot of times I just have to let God keep working on them. Um, so next chapter is how to love difficult people. It's a 38-minute listen. So
oh boy.
we'll probably
Okay.
just stick with that. That'll be a lot of discussion. So chapter 6 for
Yeah.
next Friday at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here. I love
Thank you.
you. Have a great weekend.